Welcome to this edition of the Wonderbury Podcast.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dave.
And you can find us online at wonderbury.com.
I am D. Wonderly on Twitter.
Or I'm Brian Keysbury, anywhere the internet can be found.
You can leave us a comment on our website. Check for the link in the description.
Yes.
Well, that took us way entirely too long to get started, but here we are.
Yep. That's on point for us, though, isn't it, though?
Oh, man. If it's not one thing, it's the other. But hey, looks like I have, well, I'm saying this very prematurely, but looks like I have video this week. How is it that the week that we decide to do our gadget review of what we use is the week that I screw up my recording?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just Murphy's Law, I guess. How's your week been?
Busy.
Yeah?
Yeah. World's largest art competition going on here in Grand Rapids, so expecting like an extra 400,000 people over the course of 3 weeks.
Jeez.
It started on Wednesday, and I'm already tired.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of last weekend was Johnny Appleseed, where, 500,000 people descended to Fort Wayne for that damn thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's just insane. That whole place is just so crowded these days. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's out of hand there.
Hey, but it's, I guess they like it, so whatever. More power to them, I guess.
Yep.
But, no, my mom ended up in the hospital again this week, so...
Yeah, is she doing any better? You don't know?
Not really, a little bit better, but they're still trying to figure out what happened. All of the tests came back negative for stroke, but she's having some massive memory issues and coordination issues and all sorts of stuff. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on with it, and yeah, it's a mess right now.
Yuck.
But yeah, it's one of those unfortunate realities, I guess. So
yeah.
But it is what it is, and people get older and they get sick, and sometimes they don't take care of themselves the way they should, and things like that happen. So
it's
take care of yourselves, seriously.
Yeah, and sometimes things make it harder. My grandmother was a diabetic, and then she started getting Alzheimer's, and then dementia, and then it was like she couldn't remember what she couldn't remember if she had eaten, couldn't remember if she had taken her insulin. And then everything just started like snowballing until it got worse, and then she couldn't pull out of it.
Yeah, it's really kind of sad to see that go down that way. It's just hard. But we're keeping on and take care of her the best we can and get her the help that she needs.
Hopefully someday we won't have to worry about stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking about that advent of medical technology and what you can and can't do, and things are getting better. So hopefully here within our lifetimes, or at least our kids' lifetimes, we don't have to worry about a lot of this stuff anymore. But
yeah.
It's really hard, the money for research funding and stuff. It's hard to find that kind of stuff because it's not it is what it is.
Yep.
I'm not going to go off on a massive political rant of where we spend our money, but
yeah.
Speaking of spending money,
maybe we'll do a special political show. someday.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to abandon what few viewers we have, so maybe we will. But speaking of helping people and money and everything else,
speaking of money, let's talk Apple.
The entire well, here in a second. I kind of want to talk and say that our thoughts are with. I have lots of friends both in Texas and in Florida who were affected by Harvey and Irma, and so to help with that or any disaster relief, the Red Cross does some amazing things for people. And so if you text either Irma or Harvey to go to those individual relief efforts, or to text Red Cross to 90999, it will donate $10 that gets added onto your phone bill. So if you want to just do a general American Red Cross relief effort, text Red Cross. If you want to send something just for Irma or just for Harvey, text either Irma or Harvey to 90999 to donate $10. And so I've done it a couple of times. And it's, the Red Cross is a really good organization that are helping out a lot of people. So there's a pitch for that. It's
so if you.
And speaking of Harvey and Irma, both Apple and Google, if your phone has been damaged and you have a Pixel XL, or one of the Nexus lines, or you have an iPhone, if you go and you contact them, they will do full replacements for free for those that are affected by the floodings and the hurricanes.
So if you I'm actually texting that 90999. So if I text Irma, does it donate to Irma only? And then if I text Harvey, it donates to Harvey only?
Correct. So if you want your donation to go to Irma, text Irma to 90999. If you want to go to Harvey, text Harvey 90999. Or if you want to send it to the General Relief Fund, to the Red Cross, text Red Cross to that number.
That's what I'll do.
And so, depending on how you want to give and what you want to do that way.
With or without a space in Red Cross?
Without.
Without. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's the whole one word text for relief thing.
90999.
I don't make the rules. I don't.
Done.
There we go.
Helping people out.
Speaking of Apple, I heard a rumor there was kind of an Apple event a couple weeks ago.
I heard there's a rumor about a new iPhone.
3 of them to be exact.
3 of them.
With horribly lackluster results in the release of the 8 and the 8 Plus. That was reading the different news stories of that today was just like, ouch. Either there wasn't enough of a improvement from the 7 to the 8, or everyone's waiting for the 10. I'm not sure which it is, but I know, like in especially China, it was bad. They had, 30 or 40 security guards out there to help corral the people and all the fencing up, and 5 people showed up to the store.
Yep.
There was, in a lot of places, more employees than there were customers. There were people going in 4 or 5 hours after the stores open and still able to walk out with a phone. So either the online sales are just killing it, or this has been a real lackluster release, and that's not good for Apple that way. It does not look good for them.
Nope.
I know that their stocks have dropped. This was the largest slip in their stock prices for a release that they've ever had. It dropped 6.5, I think it was.
So
Or 6.1, and that was beating out the 5S and the 5C at a slide of 5.5.
So they only released the 8s, the two different 8 ones, though, right?
Right. I think
released the 10.
I think the 10 is coming out in November, if memory serves.
Which is not iPhone X, it's iPhone 10.
Well, iPhone X is iPhone 10.
Yeah. What?
So, I guess Apple decided to copy Microsoft in the naming structure.
Yeah, and the part where they skip things.
Well, yeah, I think they decided to take the joke 7, 8, 9 a little too seriously.
Yeah. Something.
something, there is no 9.
Oh,
but
boy.
there was some other cool stuff that got released out there.
Yeah.
Goodbye Touch ID. Hello Face ID?
Yeah. New, innovative, new product that has never been seen before in anything.
Okay. That was the first thing I thought too, and still until I started really digging into what they're actually doing. So
yeah, they're using infrared sensors rather than actual camera.
And they're taking full 3D mapping, so
yeah,
there's that. It appeared that the whole thing failed during the unveiling of the Face Unlock.
Yeah.
I did read a statement by Apple today explaining what had happened. Apparently, the iPhone that he was using had been passed around backstage quite a bit with people trying to unlock it with their face. And like Touch ID or apparently in Face ID, if you give the wrong reading so many times, it requires you to put in your passcode. Well, when he got the phone finally, it had hit that limit, so he had to put in his passcode. So if anything, it worked the way it was supposed to, or that's what they're saying.
Likely story.
There was one of the reporters in Mac Rumors, I think it was, that I read. His hands-on with the X. He said that Face ID is a really good idea, but they have some serious fixes to do to it before the release in November, because it was slow, buggy, didn't always work, didn't always register, and it was... He said that it was more of an annoyance than an assist. And, I don't know...
That's how I felt with Face Unlock on Android, too, as it was...
Yeah.
Just trying to get your... I'm not always looking square at my phone. So it's never...
Well, yeah.
So hopefully...
And then that's kind of... taking the security side out of it and the face mapping side out of it for a minute. I have on my phone, I got the Pixel XL, so it has the fingerprint sensor on the back.
Yeah.
So what I do is when I reach in my pocket and I pull my phone out, by the time that I turn my phone over to look at it, it's already unlocked and the screen is on.
Yeah. Because
it's a motion to pull it out. When I was using an iPhone for a little bit just to kind of play around with it, I had set up my thumbprint instead of my my thumbprint and my fingerprint for the Touch ID. When I reached in there and I pulled it out, I put my thumb right there on the home button, so that by the time I turned it over, it was already unlocked on and I was ready to go. Now it's that extra, and I know it's not very much, and I know we're doing a lot of first world problems here, but that extra bit of having to turn it over, bring it up to your face, look directly into it, because you can't just lift it up and have it look at your face. You have to look directly into it.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced of that. I'm not convinced that it's going to work all the time while wearing hats and scarves.
Yeah, and it's still 100% of the same things as why face unlock didn't work. Like
Now face unlock had its own set of face unlock had its own set of security issues.
Other problems, but the whole concept of it was slightly awkward compared to every other way to unlock your phone.
Yeah, taking all the security concerns, because there were some massive security concerns with the Android one, and I understand that Apple has addressed the security concerns, and I actually trust, after reading everything and doing the research, all of those security concerns that Apple had, or that Android had, Apple has addressed.
They should.
I'm not too terribly worried about that.
Yeah. I feel like when, an Android does have a problem of just like coming out with batshit crazy ideas and rolling with them. And some of them work, some of them are awesome. And some of them are like the face unlock, just in real everyday use, it's not good. I feel like when Apple puts stuff on their devices, it's usually really well thought through, and it works 100% when they release it. So hopefully they handled everything. Although the loss of headphone jacks and like the auxiliary out, still not.
Yeah.
There's so much quality loss. So much quality loss over Bluetooth.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned. Well, and speaking of Bluetooth issues, as you're talking about that, I just lost connection with my Bluetooth to my phone, which is why I was looking off to my right, getting it fixed throughout that whole thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm a little disappointed that Google's going that same way. I think that I don't know. It's frustrating on one hand. I understand why they're doing it, and I understand that, if you're trying to make things thinner and you're trying to remove out unnecessary bits and blobs and stuff, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't seem like it's very big. In the scheme of the landscape inside of a phone, I get it. It's actually quite a large piece.
Literally,
and I think that's
3.7 millimeters.
Well, yes, but it has an internal footprint of more than that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're talking about here. I mean, when you're talking about trying to make phones thinner and thinner and thinner, I don't know. I do, however, like their end-to-end display. That looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now, there's still going to be a half chin at the top, but they're kind of playing around with the notification bar to kind of get around that. And it looks actually halfway decent. So I'm kind of happy about that.
And no more home button.
No more home button.
No more home button. You're going to have a handy little bar like Android does.
Slide up. That's what I've been doing with my Pixel since I got it.
Yep.
Oh, but it was what ended up being truly innovative that they announced. Wireless charging.
Oh man. Latest and greatest.
I know. We're not exactly being fair here, but on the flip side, it is kind of annoying to sit back and listen to a keynote speech and listen to them talk about their innovations. I mean, it's not innovative. I've got wireless charging in my tablet from 2013.
Yeah.
I mean, my tablets had wireless charging. As a matter of fact, my Nexus 7, 2013 model of Nexus 7,
that's how I felt
the
about
USB
Apple a lot.
plug is broken in it,
But
which means
I
the
bet you
only
it's
way I
done,
can
right?
keep using it and charge it is through wireless charging. I don't know what they're going to do different for wireless charging. Apparently, they've got some ideas or some stuff that they're going to be doing with wireless charging. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work out or what they're going to do different. Apple has this tendency to delay on technology sometimes, and then they'll let everyone else kind of work out the problems and the issues with them, and then they tweak it up a little bit.
Yep.
So maybe we'll see something. If nothing else, if wireless charging takes off with Apple, it's going to take off with everybody else too, again. Yep. And this time it'll be more mainstream, and maybe the Pixel devices will get wireless charging back.
I hope so. That was a really nice feature. Just being able to sit a device right on a pad. I'm glad that they're using Key wireless too, which I actually learned how to pronounce that because of the Apple keynote. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. I'm really glad that they're not creating a new proprietary standard. So Key wireless charging is been universal throughout. It's the universal wireless charging with Android for years now.
Yeah,
and
it was only like the first
very
6
very
months.
Happy that
like there was two of. I remember there being 2 of them and I don't even remember what the other one was because it didn't matter because it disappeared so fast. It went away faster than Betamax.
I think Duracell had their own and that they were trying to push, and then they realized that no one was adopting it.
Yeah.
And they discontinued it very quickly.
I'm disappointed in the lack of push for Wi-Fi charging, though, because I think that would just be monumental, like a huge monumental step in moving things forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. Couple of things that happened. There's a new Apple Watch with LTE built in now. Though apparently it was reported that was the LTE connectivity is extraordinarily buggy. So
who
knows what's going to happen after that?
What is going on that Apple is releasing buggy things? What kind of world have we come to?
I don't know. I've come to have a higher expectation for this. Yeah. And I'm a little surprised at how much stuff was either slow, buggy, or didn't work coming out of this event.
Right. This looks more like a Google event at this point. And then now we have a Google event coming up on October 4th. So that's going to be interesting. Is everything just going to go like smooth as butter and they're going to be like, look at this brand new stuff.
So Apple TV is also coming out with an update. They're getting 4K support.
Oh, 4K is so innovative.
Apparently their HD support is buggy. Also, for the 32 gigabyte internal storage version, it's $180. For the 64 gigabyte version, it's $200. Putting that into perspective, I paid $79 for a 4K Roku.
How much internal storage?
What is my internal storage of the Roku? I will look real quick.
What's the app availability on your Roku?
300,000?
What? On a Roku? Serious?
Yeah, let me look at this real quick. There's a lot of options. It's amazing.
I paid around $200 for the Shield. But I definitely have some pretty amazing options. I would like to take the Shield and your Roku head to head.
The Roku has a micro SD port that can take cards up to 64 gig.
Okay. I have a USB port.
It's got internal storage enough to install the apps, and then you can expand it by 64 gig.
Huh. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive plugged into my Shield, and that's
nice.
That's internal storage now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Roku doesn't do a whole lot of... Yeah, the Roku doesn't do a whole lot of...
stuff.
It doesn't do a lot of extra stuff like a lot of gaming stuff like your Shield does. It's designed to be...
That's what I'm saying, man.
A set-top box.
You need to come up and see what the Shield does. It is amazing, and especially with the having the computer that does that has the NVIDIA card in it. I can play almost any game that I can install on my computer. I can play it on my TV with my controller.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So anyways, Apple TV 4K. Hopefully...
Apple TV 4K, kind of buggy when playing your HD stuff.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Hopefully they have good game support, because at that price point you're pushing into console world, like, and that's why the Shield gets away with it, is because it has the high-powered gaming features. So they get away with, the $200 price point because of that. If the Apple TV doesn't do that, it's not like general population isn't going to be. I don't
Apparently
see it pushing past Roku or Fire TV.
There are games and stuff available for the Apple TV. And and to be fair, I have not looked into seeing if there are games for the Roku. Take that back. There are games for the Roku.
You need to come visit and bring your Roku.
Yeah, possibly. If I'll be up in that area probably in November.
I know.
Beginning of November again. Actually, we'll be able to do another live recording, and we'll just do it over at your place probably.
What?
Yeah. Sweet. Or you can pack up and drive over to Holland and meet me there, and we can do it in Holland in the winter. Anyways. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where the event, I think, was good. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming out with the 10. And
I think AR, that it was like all the AR stuff is setting them up for. Yeah. They're gonna do a heads up display. They're gonna do a head mount display unit similar to glass. Like they're set up. They have everything there now. Yeah. It's getting there, and I think it's glass. I think was about 5 years ahead of its time. Oh yeah, I've been saying glass, that since the day I got it. Yeah. Speaking of glass, it looks like there's a new Glass Enterprise Edition that's coming out. Yeah. So they're starting to manufacture those again and starting to push the glass again. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. People are starting to accept alternate reality devices. People are okay with putting their phone in a box and putting it over their face. And now they're looking at glass like, well, that was actually pretty neat then, huh? It was pretty dang cool, man. Pretty dang cool. Oh, yeah. But before we go, just remind everybody again, if, support the Red Cross. Yeah. Information's down here on the screen. Support them. They're doing a really good job. So they do things for people because you can't, and they need help. Yep. And the best thing you can do is send them money. Money is the best way to help with them. They've got volunteers, people in place. If you're down in that area and want to volunteer, go contact the Red Cross. Yeah.
Go contact your local soup kitchens, your local food banks. Those are the people on the grounds down there that that are really doing a lot of good.
Yep. And if something happens in your area, guess who's going to be there? Those guys.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that'll about do it for this episode, Brian.
All right. Guess we'll see y'all next week.
Yep. See you guys next week.